Hi, this is Pearl and welcome to my channel. Today I have the last scrapbook process layout for the Felicity Jane Catherine kit. And this is a picture of my kids on the last day of school. So I just wanted to do a little documentation about this school year because of course with the pandemic it's been crazy. I'm using a white basil cardstock as my background, and I'm just going to use the rest of my scraps as for this layout. Now I'm using the Felicity Jane date stamp, and I'm just making sure that I have the correct date for when I get ready to stamp the date. I use my ATG gun to adhere the photo and make a border onto this salmon color, and I'm going to use that as my border around the white border of my photo. And I'm using my Caterpillar Pro Crop, which is the best paper trimmer that you'll ever have. I don't know how many paper trimmers I've been through, but a ton. And this is by far my favorite, and I love it because I also don't have to get replacement blades because it's self-sharpening. So I'm using this 3 by 12 piece of paper, and I did just tear it, but then I didn't like how it looked torn. So I'm going to go ahead and use this Tim Holtz, I don't know what this is called, but I'll have it linked below, where you scrape the edges of the paper to make it look, I want to say rough, but I don't know what the actual paper, what the name of it is. So I'm just shredding the edges there. I think there's a razor under there or something like that. And it didn't work as good as I thought it would, but this is my first time using it, so I still need to get used to using that. If you guys know what this is called, let me know down in the comments down below. So I am just going to do kind of like a T-shaped design on its side, and I decided instead of using that Tim Holtz tool, I'm just going to tear using the ruler, and I'm just using my metal ruler, and I'm just tearing it so that it has more of a rough look around the edges. Now I'm going to adhere this down to the flower paper, and I do want more of the flower paper to show because it's so pretty. This was one of my favorite papers from this kit. So I go ahead and tear the bottom portion out, and I'm going to use this starburst kind of paper as also to layer, and I'm also going to use it strawberries, or berries I should say, and tear some of that out to adhere it down too. Now I haven't adhered this down to the white cardstock because I still want to do my journaling, and I'm going to use my typewriter for my journaling, but I got to kind of figure out where I'm going to put my layout so I can document where I want to do my typing. So you can see here that I'm kind of playing around. Now I'm going to adhere that to the top T, and I'm going to use a pencil to mark where I want to do my journaling, and it's going to be on the bottom right hand corner of the layout. And I'm going to use a pencil to mark where I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to use the We Are Memory Keepers typewriter typecast typewriter, and I'm trying to get my paper even. It has a hard time putting in the cardstock, 12 by 12 cardstock, but it does work with the 12 by 12 paper, so I do like it. And my kids have been playing with it, so my first couple of letters came out red, but I just typed over it with the black, and this is what I journaled. With this pandemic, the 2020 school year ended with the kids doing distance learning from home. Since mid-March, the kids, or should I say the boys, have been doing their classes on Zoom. They've also had assignments due in Google Classroom. I hate to admit it, but I don't think the kids learned anything. But I also understand that this is an unprecedented time. The good news, we didn't have to leave the house and rush in the mornings, and the kids were able to stay in their jammies while doing their schoolwork. So after I finish that, I'm going to take the cardstock out, and I'm going to erase the pencil mark that I have there. Then I'm going to go ahead here the layout down. So this is my T design, and sorry, I gotta straighten out the camera because I messed it up when I was moving the typewriter around. I'm gonna take a doily, and this doily is from Studio Calico. I don't think they have those anymore, but I will go ahead and list where you can get a similar size doily from Amazon in the comments down below. Now I'm going to go ahead and adhere that down, and I want to think about what I'm going to do on the bottom right hand side. So I'm taking one of the, what is this called? Branding strips, and it has the hearts on it, and I'm just going to cut that to kind of ground the bottom portion. and I'm going to use the label, a label that came with the kit, and I'm going to date stamp that. And I'm also trying to see if there's any stamps I can use from this kit, but I can't. So I use the Felicity Jane date stamp and the Stays On ink, and I'm going to date this date and adhere that down to the bottom right hand corner. And the Stays On works with this little label because the label is a little slickery, so this Stays On will adhere to it without smearing, but I'm trying to adhere that down without actually touching the date stamp. Now I'm also trying to think of what I'm going to use as my title, and I want to use the rest of these puffy stickers that came with the kit. Now it takes me kind of a little while to figure out what I want to do with the little embellishments that I have left. I have this one little flag left, so I'm going to put that to the top left hand corner. And then I have some of these little starburst stars that came with the kit, and I'm trying to adhere that using my Scotch Quick Dry adhesive, but I can't get it out, and I was too lazy to get it to work. So I do end up just using my ATG gun, and I figure I'll fix that later. I may need to get another tube because the needle might be stuck. I have had that tube of fine line for quite a while, so it might be time for me to replace that. So I decided to put the yellow starburst up on the top, and I'm going to put a different pink starburst on the bottom right hand corner. And initially I put it to the top right of the label, but I'm going to end up moving it down to the bottom right of the label because I want to put a puffy sticker there. But I put the Today puffy sticker to the top left portion of my layout, and I'm going to use the ampersand and put that to the bottom portion of my layout. Now, one of the things about printing from home, and it's the Epson PM400 printer that I'm using, once I put something down on the photo, I cannot move it. So I wanted the Dream puffy sticker a little bit more to the left, but it had already started sticking, so I just left it. I know that with the selfie printer, sometimes you can lift it up without ruining the photo, but I sold that one, so. Now I'm going through and looking at the alphas from the kit to see what I'm going to title it. I was thinking pandemic, end of school, but I ended up titling this D for done. And I'm just making sure that none of the letters are the same color next to each other. And so I'm going to go ahead and put that down, and I'm going to put that up on top, and that's my title. Now after I'm done with my title, I am going to go ahead and, of course, I have to splatter, and I'm using the Dr. P.H. Martin's black ink. I will go ahead and link that down below too. And I'm just going to splatter to the top left, to the right of my photo, and also to the very bottom of the photo. Then I'm going to use the Nouveau Vintage drops, and I'm using the color Yellow Brick Road, and I'm going to put 3 dots to 3 areas of embellishments. Actually, the bottom right corner of my photo is not an embellishment cluster, but just to make it even, I put it there. So I put 3 dots in each of those areas, and I call this done. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.